Hey guys, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040 and welcome to another edition of the Batwoman Season 1 review series. And today I'm going to be talking about episode 12, Take Your Choice, which in my opinion was absolutely fantastic. I would put this episode up there with episode 5. Mine is a long and a sad tale. In terms of storytelling and acting, I thought it was just superb and stellar, and for me the standout performer for this episode was none other than Rachel Skarstein, who is just absolutely kicking ass as Alice, and she showed that she's got versatile chops to play both characters but different versions of the same person, and I'm talking about Alice and Beth, and she just absolutely knocked it out of the park. And no disrespect to Ruby Rose and the others, they were great, but Rachel Skarstein, in my opinion, just stole the show for me in this episode, and this has been a lot of fun to watch. And I would say since the second half of Season 1, after Crisis on Infinite Earths, we'll call this the post-crisis run of the show, there's been some really good episodes. I know I said when I started this review series that Batwoman did get off to a little bit of a slow start. Some episodes weren't as good as others. Some episodes were really good, but I felt that it was a show that was still trying to find its feet. But I would definitely say with this episode, they've definitely found their feet, and it's 100% firmly on the ground. So this was a lot of fun to watch. So before I start talking about episode 12, just going to give a quick recap of what's happened so far. As we saw in the last episode, we saw that Beth from another Earth has arrived on Earth Prime, and we learned that in her Earth she didn't die in that car accident. She was saved by Kate Kane. So, as you all know already, everyone's previous lives from previous Earths all erased thanks to the crisis. Everybody's living in Earth Prime with no memory of their old lives. So this is essentially a reboot of the entire universe thanks to Oliver's sacrifice. So with that all said, let's get right into it. Let's talk about episode 12, Take Your Choice. So as we established at the end of the last episode, we now have a good Beth Kane and an evil Beth Kane, who is, we all know, is Alice. So the question is going in, can two Beth Kanes really coexist on Earth Prime? Oh, you'll just have to find out. So as we move along in this episode, both ladies are suddenly affected with horrible migraines, and anybody who's watched all the Arrowverse shows will know that two people of the same person from two different Earths cannot exist in one place. Either one has to die and the other lives, or essentially both have to die. So either side, something's got to give. So as we see here, Luke and Mary are trying to figure out why she's having these terrible migraines, and they learn that Earth Prime is only big enough for one of them to live, so that would mean someone has to die. Oh boy, this is Crisis all over again, or as Beth puts it, an anomaly of galactic proportions. Everyone comes to the conclusion that the only way to stop the suffering of the other is one of them has to die and restore cosmic balance. While Kate is understandably reluctant to deal with the idea that one of her sisters has to die, the reality is that there is no avoiding it, and a solution is found, thanks to Alice. When Alice had Catherine and Mary both poisoned, the antidote that ended up saving Mary's life wasn't just a fix for the poison, it was a cure for literally everything. So rare that the one dose Mary took was all that exists, and that the cure still remains as part of Mary's blood, meaning that the solution of how to stop the rapid and terrible cellular decline of either Beth or Alice is literally in Mary's veins. So what's the catch? This means that they can only use Mary's blood to cure one version of Beth Kane. Attempting to save both of them would result in both versions of Beth dying. Oh boy, choices, choices, choices. With time rapidly running out, Kate has to make a heartbreaking choice, and she ultimately decides to save the good Beth, though she stays with Alice and holds her darker sister while the tortured lady breathes her last breath. Alice dies, Beth lives, but ends up being not quite as simple as that, because Alice is being haunted by the crows, and Luke attempts to hurry Beth out of Gotham to safety. They make it away from the forces hunting her down, but while Beth and Luke talk, Beth is fatally shot by someone off the rooftops, but it's not a member of the crows. See, when that happened, I actually thought it was Deadshot for a moment, but it wasn't. It should have been Deadshot. It would have been awesome just to have a Deadshot cameo, but yeah, it is what it is. And the shooter is revealed to be none other than Ethan Campbell, who was in the previous episode as August Cartwright, Mouse's father, wearing a false face, who is determined to end Alice for turning Mouse against him. Beth dies in Luke's arms, and across town, Alice suddenly comes back to life in Kate and is none too pleased that her sister chose the perfect Beth over her. Kate explains that she made a choice and now she will have to live with the consequences, whatever that may be. And that's pretty much how this episode ends. Overall, this was a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed this one a lot. As I said, Rachel Skarstein absolutely stole the show. The way she was able to play both Alice and Beth and make them feel like two completely different versions was just top notch. I would have liked to have seen them drag this out for a little bit longer. Maybe one of them dies in the second to last episode, but I thought the way they handled it here was just absolutely fantastic, and this is definitely one of my favourite episodes of the post-crisis run. And yeah, absolutely enjoyed it. 5 out of 5 rating. Nothing bad to say about it. So that about wraps it up for me talking about episode 12. I'm going to just drop this here for you guys. What did you think of episode 12? Did you enjoy it? What was your favourite moments? Do you think Beth shouldn't have died? Do you think she should have lived? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will be back next time to talk about episode 13. So till then, take care everybody, and stay safe.